This is a video presentation for the NetHope Communities of Practice project. This project was done in collaboration with the NetHope Solution Center and the University of Waterloo. The University of Waterloo team comprised of Muhammad, Reva, Aaron, Chad, Vatsal, Goli, Rachna, Alex, Karen, Shivpriya, and Christina. We start with the project need. The team was tasked with designing a handbook for community page owners. This handbook was supposed to act as an instruction guide for community page owners, showing them the best practices to manage their respective community pages. The project scope. This covers the areas that have been included inside the handbook. These areas being: what is a community of practice? Why is it important? What is the purpose or function of a community of practice? It also includes tips on how to identify and attract stakeholders for the community page, the importance of branding and how to attract sponsors. In great detail, the handbook also includes tips on how to navigate through the expression engine backend, which is a vital function of all community page owners. It shows how to create, edit, and publish blogs, case studies, forums, etc. The handbook also gives a list of key performance indicators that a community page owner can use to measure the performance of his or her community page. It covers the basic administration duties and tips on how to manage the life cycle of the community page. Project milestones. Throughout the project, the team identified certain milestones that were vital in the successful completion of the project. The first being creating a preliminary project management plan. This was done on June 2nd. This allowed the team to compile the knowledge it had on the topic and convey to the sponsors and the course instructor to show that the team is on track and receive constructive input that would help the team navigate through the remainder of the project. The next major milestone was the expression engine training session, which was done on June 3rd by Frederick Winsness. This training session was vital in learning the expression engine backend and how the backend would influence the front end of the community page that all its stakeholders would see. The next step involved creating a work breakdown structure. This was done on June 6th. This helped the team identify the major tasks involved in successfully completing the project and divided up the work between the members and created subgroups in order to successfully complete the tasks. A finalized project management plan was submitted on June 9th. Feedback was provided by the NetHope team and the scope was revisited and redone, and new project scope was submitted on June 16th. On June 18th, the team received a training session for the Google Analytics software. This software is discussed in the metrics section and covers some of the key performance indicators that a community page owner can use in order to judge the performance of his or her community page. During the period of June 16 to July 10th, the team submitted initial and secondary drafts for their work to the NetHope team and Professor Carr, and received valuable feedback that it used to make modifications and adjustments to the content and finalized all the content by July 10th. The team then compiled the final handbook by July 21st and, as a last submission for this project, completed the video presentation, which will be submitted on July 28th. Project communication. Throughout the course of the project, the team was in constant communication with the NetHope team and Professor Carr. This was done mainly via emails, but there were weekly status reports done on Microsoft Word, and the main participants of that were the University of Waterloo team. The team created a summary of the project status and documented key accomplishments from the previous weeks and highlighted upcoming tasks and issues. During the weekly Skype meetings, in which the NetHope team and the University of Waterloo team both participated, we would review the weekly status reports and address any of the issues that were outstanding. We now move into the sections covered in the handbook. They are as follows: the introduction, lifecycle management, stakeholders, expression engine, and metrics. To successfully complete the task assigned, the team split itself up into smaller groups. Vatsal was assigned the project manager. The introduction section was given to Aaron, lifecycle management section to Muhammad, the stakeholder section to Reva and Goli, the expression engine section to Chad, Rachna, Karen, and Shivpriya, the metrics section to Alex and Christina. NetHope brings together leaders of 41 of the world's leading humanitarian development organizations. The NetHope Solution Center is a space where like-minded NGOs and organizations can find a cloud service and information and communication technology solutions to business problems and challenges that are faced in the workplace today. The project was presented by Frederick Winsness. The NetHope Solution Center community page serves as a landing page for new and thriving community around a hot topic in development. The page also serves as a feature which highlights new technology that is being developed and encourages experts to share knowledge and raise awareness about this new technology or new issue that is current in the world. We now cover some of the steps needed to build a successful community of practice. The first and the most important step is to define the objective. Why is this community of practice being created? The next is to identify the timeline. It is very important that the community page be launched when the topic being discussed is relevant and it's considered a hot topic. This will encourage the audience to discuss and raise awareness and bring forward information that can be very helpful. Knowing the target audience is very important, as the community page owner is expected to contact experts and leading members within that topic to discuss and help the other members get up to speed about what advances have been made in certain areas. It is important not to duplicate efforts. Identifying and engaging new members is very important. The best way to kick off a new community page is to host a high-level event. This indicates to all the members that a new community page has been created and encourages them to take part in the discussion. It is important to host frequent events. This keeps everyone engaged. One of the key steps is to involve influential thought leaders within that field. This will attract different members to the community page and help with the discussion and bring forth good information that can be shared with all the members. Regular interaction on part of the community page owner with its community members is very important. This will maintain the interest in the community page. It is always good to offer incentives to the members in order to encourage them to take part in the discussions and raise awareness. With all the advances in technology, using social media can be very beneficial to a community page. Using outlets such as Twitter, Facebook to attract new members and raise awareness of a particular community page can be very valuable for a community page owner. We now talk about some of the steps needed to maintain a community page. The community page owner should revisit objectives and ensure that the direction in which the community page is going is in conformance with its initial objectives with which it was initiated. It is important to communicate frequently with all members and stakeholders of the community page. The community page owner is also advised to hold at least 4 virtual events every year, depending on the topic. This will encourage members and keep them involved. It is important for the community page owner to strike a balance with the community ownership as well, which is the NetHope management. It is very important to set a structure for the community and adhere to that structure. This keeps all the discussions on track and makes the page more manageable. And lastly, it is always important to keep discussions lively and engaging. This encourages new ideas and helps the community page reach its objectives. We now talk about the lifecycle management of the community page. The first step is the page startup. This can be initiated by NetHope management or on request of community members that identify a crucial topic that needs to be discussed. The editorial team or the NetHope management can look into the potential feasibility of such topics and take steps needed in order to successfully create the community page. First of which being assigning a community page owner. The community page owner can then go on in conjunction with the editorial team or the NetHope management to create goals and targets for the community page. As part of the daily functioning of the community page owner is asked to perform certain administrative duties that will help the community page stay relevant and attract new members. The final step in the life cycle is the termination of the page. Once the targets have been achieved, the NetHope editorial team can monitor the activity of the page, and if the page is less active, they may decide to terminate the page. Some duties that the community page owner needs to do in order to maintain smooth functioning of a community page is establish goals, identify some key members, incorporate branding into the community page to attract new stakeholders and new members to the community page, have a good community page image, provide a good page overview, and deal with content management of the community page to ensure that only relevant material is posted on the page. This can be done with the coordination with the NetHope management and the editorial team. The community page owner is also expected to monitor the performance of the page, and if the performance of the page is poor, then he or she is also expected to improve the performance of the page by contacting new members or hosting events. And once the community page has achieved its targets, termination of the page is also a key responsibility of the community page owner, which can be done in conjunction with the NetHope editorial team. Stakeholders. A community page stakeholder is any individual or group who has vested interest in the outcome of the body of work. These individuals can be used to initiate discussions, and this can be done when they contribute useful information to the community page. A stakeholder can be anyone ranging from a sponsor, a vendor, someone who provides a solution, a user, a community page owner, NetHope staff and management, or anyone who has vested interest within the community page. Identifying stakeholders is a key task of the community page owner. There are two types of stakeholders, formal and informal stakeholders. Formal stakeholders cover community page owners or administrators, program professionals and technology professionals, solutions providers and innovators and vendors. Informal stakeholders or targeted audience can be a casual user, donor, a NetHope program director, or an independent expert within that field. Also, general public comes under the informal stakeholders. Managing stakeholders. A community page owner should try to solve problems of significant stakeholders and the community page. This can be done through periodic surveys and open discussions to help identify problems. The community page owner needs to understand the concerns and meet the expectations of the stakeholders. The community page owner should respond coherently and appropriately to all concerns raised by any stakeholder. There should be open and clear communication all throughout the life of the community page. The community page owner should establish clear feedback processes that can help the community stakeholders communicate with the page owner and vice versa. They should also work to seek mutually beneficial outcomes where feasible. The community page owner should recognize, understand, and involve stakeholders in the process. Engagement should be done in a manner that fosters mutual respect and trust. We now cover the expression engine. The expression engine is a content management and publishing tool. The figure below displays the basic structure of the content integration, where different content such as case studies, blogs, webinars, including public and private data, are pulled over the expression engine and posted on the community page. This is the general layout of the community page. When the community page owner logs in, he or she can see a content on the top left side of the window. This menu helps them navigate through the different tasks needed. They can also use the three fields of create, modify, delete, or view in order to check the performance or status of their discussions or postings. The sidebar shows the login ID of the community page owner. The content tab of the community of the expression engine would be the most used tab for the community page owner. We now cover the publish tab, which can be used to create new blogs, case studies, or external links. This figure shows what sections need to be filled in order to create a new blog and its corresponding impact on the front page. The title of the community page is highlighted in red and can be seen on the front page as Office 365 Nonprofit Move to Cloud for Global Relief. The blog author can be the community page owner or a stakeholder who has identified this particular topic for discussion. And the body of the blog is identified in green and shown on the corresponding window where it shows the layout on the front page. This is very valuable information for the community page owner, as they can see how inputting information in the back end affects the front end. The second tab is the edit tab. This allows the user to edit information for different content such as blogs, case studies, external links, and includes a program overview. Detailed steps are covered within the handbook. The file manager is the next important tab for the community page owner. This allows the community page owner to upload files to the blogs, case studies, and external links. Details for each step of the file manager are also included inside the handbook. We now come to the metrics section. Metrics are key performance indicators that the community page owner can use to judge the performance of his or her community page. The homepage of the Google Analytics window is shown in the figure. The team has identified some key performance indicators. The first one being sessions, which is also called visits. This covers each time a user finds a new site. Second step, the second key performance indicator is users, also known as unique visitors. This is the number of times people visit a certain site within a given period of time. The next key performance indicator is page views. This includes whenever someone views a page on the site, such as a community page or a blog post, it counts as one page view. If the user then looks to another page, that will count as an additional view. The next key performance indicator is pages or sessions. This metric shows how many pages people are looking at when they visit. For example, if the site has 5,000 visits and 10,000 page views, that's an average of 2 pages per visit. 5,000 visits and 5,000 page views would average of 1 page per visit. The next key performance indicator is the average session duration. This measures the time it takes for an average visit. The next key performance indicator is the bounce rate. This metric is a percentage of which users visit the page and immediately move on without looking at any of the other pages. The bounce rate of 100% would mean that the user enters the site through one page and then immediately leaves the site without visiting any additional pages on the site. The lower the bounce rate, the better. This would mean that the person visiting the site has viewed more than one page. The final key performance indicator is the percentage of new sessions. This includes a number of visitors who find the page for the first time. In general, a good bounce rate would be between 50 to 60%. If the community page owner sees a high bounce rate, then they need to consider reviewing the keyword or begin to use other keywords that can better attract stakeholders and audience members. Optimizing the page so that they correlate better with search terms that are popular on the site, or creating better titles or posting better images and discussions or descriptions for the content that is being displayed on their community page. The ideal average time for a community page is 3 minutes. However, time spent on other related content such as blogs, case studies, or webinars will vary depending on the length of the content. Blogs are roughly 3 minutes, case studies 4 minutes, webinar listings about 2 minutes. The team now provides a sample view of a dashboard that can be seen by the community page owners. Details of each of these tabs are below. The first tab involves how to find your blog. This shows which sources that drive the users to the website. The percentage of new visit tells the page owners how large percentage of these visitors have already paid a visit to the site before this latest visit. The next step involves the browser bounce rate. This can help the community experts find what browsers are widely used by the community pages and the bounce rate for certain browsers. The next vid shows where most of the readers of the community page live. They can use this to cater information in a certain way that will positively impact users from a particular area. The next tab in the sample dashboard shows which posts are the most popular. This will help the community page owner identify topics that the readers are most passionate about. The next tab shows which pages are most unpopular, and these show which have the highest bounce rate. So this will tell the community page owners to steer clear of certain topics and certain pages and discussions. The next tab shows sessions and bounce rate by social network. This tab can help the community experts to access effective social networks. From the screenshot, it can be seen that sessions from Twitter and Facebook are higher, while at the same time the bounce rate is also extremely high, which means that the users find attractive name in Twitter or Facebook while the content is not really that attractive. The next tab shows how much the visitors see during each session. From the bounce rate of the users who use mobile or tablets, the community page owners could tell how many people that leave the website viewing on the page they land at. If the bounce rate is far more than the average bounce rate of 70%, it probably means that the site design for the mobile or tablet scares the visitors away. Then the community page owners need to check how much the visitors can see. If the bounce rates are considerably higher on the mobile devices for small of small resolutions, then the website probably isn't displaying well on small screens. As a result, the community page owner should redesign the page to better suit viewing on mobiles or tablets. The last tab also shows directly how many users are viewing this on mobiles or tablets. If the number is relatively high, then the community page owner should cater to these members and create a page that is more friendly to be viewed on smaller screens. We finally go over the risk register that was identified by the team and their corresponding mitigation plans. The first risk is coordinating meetings with project stakeholders to discuss progress and receive feedback. The probability is medium, but the impact of this is very high. In order to avoid this, the team has determined the schedule of all the stakeholders in advance and clarifies the best ways to communicate stakeholders. This ensures that the team always gets in contact with the people they need to speak to. The second risk is that the handbook may not meet the requirements of the sponsor. The probability is medium while the impact is high. In order to mitigate this risk, communication between all stakeholders is very important, and the team has decided to clarify all questions before finalizing content. The third risk is that the project team fails to meet the deadlines with respect to the milestones or heavy workloads. The probability is low, but the impact is high. To avoid this, the team has determined the schedules of everyone involved, allowed for adequate contingency in terms of project planning, and will also provide proposals to reduce the workload without sacrificing on the quality of the work handed in. The fourth risk is that the organization and coordination tasks become problematic, leading to decreased productivity. The probability is low, and the impact is medium. Again, determining schedules and adhering to those schedules of all the stakeholders is very important. While splitting up the work, the project manager evaluated the strengths and weaknesses of all project members and assigned tasks in such a way that it would maximize productivity and avoid issues in planning. The final risk is that the project team may not receive controlled access to either the Google Analytics or the Expression Engine backend. The probability was low, but the impact was high. To avoid these problems, the team requested immediate access to all available resources from the NetHope team. Finally, in conclusion, the team would like to thank Professor Peter Carr, Frederick Winsness, Paige Deering, Emma Schwartz, and Soma Ghoshal. Without your feedback and help, this project would not have been possible. Thank you.